China's Yuan push in Africa, economic freedom, or geopolitical trap. In a world dominated by the US dollar, a surprising shift is underway in Africa. China is quietly pushing its currency, the yuan, deep into African economies. But what's really at stake? Hi, I'm Samia Mohammed. This is Analytica Today. China is expanding the use of its currency, the yuan, across Africa, positioning the continent as a strategic testing ground to challenge the global dominance of the US dollar. From Egypt to Nigeria, yuan-based financial deals are reshaping economic relationships. But this isn't about money. It's a geopolitical chess game between two superpowers, and African nations find themselves right in the middle. Today, we're breaking down China's yuan expansion, the US response, and why, despite threats, African countries are increasingly willing to embrace this new financial order. To understand what's happening, we need to look at the global context. For decades, the US dollar has been the king of international finance, giving America significant economic leverage. But recent geopolitical tensions and protectionist US policies have prompted countries around the world to consider their reliance on the dollar. This shift, known as de-dollarization, gained momentum after the BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa began promoting alternative financial systems. Their goal? To reduce dependence on Western-dominated institutions. Africa, deeply integrated with China through trade and investment, has become an ideal testing ground. China's trade with Africa reached $282 billion in 2023, making the continent a natural partner in its currency ambitions. Recently, the central banks of China and Egypt signed groundbreaking agreements to promote the yuan in trade and investment. This includes currency swaps and yuan-dominated bonds, bypassing traditional reliance on the US dollar. Egypt joins Nigeria, South Africa, and Angola, all of which have similar deals. Nigeria's currency swap agreement allows direct yuan to naira exchanges, facilitating smoother trade without dollars. South Africa's Standard Bank has started using China's payment network, CIPS, directly connecting African businesses to Chinese markets. But why is China targeting Africa specifically? The China Institute points out that Africa's limited access to dollars and euros makes it a perfect environment for China to experiment with the yuan's internalization. The yuan transactions currently represent a small fraction of total trade. Experts predict it could soon dominate China-Africa commerce. And despite US warnings and threats of sanctions against nations reducing their dollar reliance, African countries continue to lean towards the yuan. Why risk antagonizing global superpower? Simply put, the US dollar's dominance isn't just financial, it's political power. Dollar dominance allows America to impose sanctions, control financial flows, and maintain its global influence. China's yuan push threatens this control. However, African nations see an opportunity. Trading directly in yuan means lower transaction costs, less vulnerability to Western financial sanctions, and increased economic autonomy. Countries like Nigeria and Egypt are looking for a more flexible economic partnership, not just financial dependency. Yet the risks are real. The US recently escalated tensions, threatening tariffs, again, and sanctions on countries supporting BRICS financial alternatives. African economies caught between these powerful forces must navigate carefully to avoid becoming collateral damage in this geopolitical showdown. So what's next? Africa's embrace of the yuan symbolizes a broader shift toward financial independence and strategic autonomy. It's a calculated risk. Challenging the US could invite economic backlash, but aligning with China offers a path to greater financial resilience and autonomy. As the yuan steadily penetrates African economies, one thing is clear: the era of unquestioned US dollar dominance is being openly challenged. How Africa navigates this shift could define the continent's economic future for decades. That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts below. I am Samia Mohammed, and this is Analytica Today.